Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to a new episode of the Red Devils Corner Kick podcast. I hope everyone is having somewhat of a good weekend. We did have our first game, of the Premier League today. 1-0 for Arsenal today. We'll be discussing that for today's episode of the podcast. But before we begin, don't forget to hit like, subscribe, follow, leave a comment, whether you're following on Instagram, TikTok, X, and then for listening to the podcast, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and YouTube. Yes, well, let's just get right into it. We lost. It was the first game of the year. Obviously, we saw the lineups going into the game for Manchester United. Obviously, a different lineup that I had. Some people had in all fairness, some people had similar lineups or close to what Ruben Amorim did for the Manchester United for the game. Am I upset with the lineup? No. I was completely fine with it because I can understand why he went with that lineup. And listen, it wasn't bad. It wasn't like we had. No, you know what? Bad is the wrong statement to use. It was good. It was. We saw the attack. We saw movement with the ball. Listen, I'm going to do player ratings later. Listen, overall, I was happy with the performance of Manchester United in this game. I am just upset that we lost. Am I upset in the way the goal was scored? Yes, but I'm not upset about. In the end, I know the goalkeeper should have done better. In the end, we can complain about whether there's interference. We can do whatever from what the refs and what VAR, everyone reviewed. They saw that there was no interference. So a goal is a goal, no matter whether you like it or not. What I didn't like was the build-up to the goal. Bruno got the interception of the pass, couldn't maintain it. When he got to the ball, kicked it down to Euro, didn't realize there was someone basically on top of Euro. Moved the ball, they had to settle for a corner kick. That's what led to the goal. I am more upset with that, especially when you look at the way Bruno did. I know he had a player coming in, but you had a wide open field. You can try and keep it, move it around, try and find another way to get rid of it, or just kick it up as far up as you can and try to battle with the person to get the ball there. But I was more upset with that. Listen, we went with like that, and that's what led to the goal. Like, yes, Bayender, and we can talk about the goalie performance, whatever. Listen, an error made it. The way the game went, it was going to be decided by an error, and the error was done by us, and it was done earlier on. United had opportunities to take the lead or tie it up, and so on and so forth. Listen, Cunha, when he went from our 18 to basically their 18, was incredible. That's what we've been lacking. That's what we've been needing. We haven't had that, especially in the last couple years. We have been missing that. Mbeumo was great. It was. I was happy to see Mbeumo, Cunha, and then Sesko when he came on. That's the one thing I was waiting to see. There was bright spots there. Ahmad coming on was good too. But let me go to the starting lineup and just look at it there. So yeah, we went to the false nine. In the end, I wasn't upset with it because, like I said, it's hard to decide what's going to happen. And I kind of jumped on the bandwagon with my last episode when I did my review saying Sesko should be starting. And from what reports I was reading and everything, that Sesko was leaning towards being there. But in the end, I wasn't going to be upset with the manager for making his choice. I wasn't. Making his choices compared to mine. I'm not going to be upset with it. Unfortunately, when I did that first preview, I said, this is what I would like. But in the end, I can't be upset because in the end, I even said it on my X account, I'm completely fine with it. Sesko has just joined. He just came in last week. We can't be pushing him in. He got playing time, so we saw it. We saw some good things with it. But in the end, Sesko should not have been starting. Andre Onana, he's just coming back from the injury. So as much as we were happy to see Xerxes on the bench, Onana wasn't there. Whether he wasn't ready, Ruben Amorim saw something. He was apparently healthy, and they were aiming for him to start this weekend. But it looks like he maybe not have been ready, but potentially next week. But Ruben said he looked at the players for this week, potentially next week to start. Perfectly fine with that. I am. Mason Mount did very well. I did like the press. I did like the movement of the ball. He did a lot of pressing to force balls being taken out in Arsenal's end. We saw those opportunities. We saw the movement. We saw the change-ups. We saw the communication. We saw good things. The back three I was perfectly fine with. De Ligt started over Maguire, and I know I second-guessed that. In the end, I had De Ligt originally starting when I did my predictions. Changed it up to Harry Maguire. De Ligt did fine. De Ligt was one of the best players today. He was. And him, Yoro, Luke Shaw were excellent in the back three. And I'm going to do player ratings later on. But they were all good. They stopped an attack that, they were stronger than us in almost in all areas. Their midfield was the main concern for me, to say the least. Is the midfield in trouble still for us? Yes, it is. We still need someone to play with Bruno. And no offense to Casemiro. Casemiro did enough today to help us. He did a perfect amount today to help us, to make sure that we didn't get a goal scored on us, like from their attack. And we were happy with him carrying the ball up, making passes, making plays, getting things going. That's what we saw. And that was good for me. That was great. But again, his legs and his longevity, that could be an issue going down through the season. So I was happy with it. When we got the change onto Ugarte, I may have, I was kind of happy to have him there, but Ugarte did make a horrible turnover. I don't know what happened there with that pass to the Arsenal player. When we were moving in on the attack, he receives the ball, had enough space for a 4-lane highway to just move the ball up and go, but he takes a ridiculous shot, especially when we needed time to goal. We needed a goal. You have Mbeumo, Sesko, Cunha, you have players there. He rushed it, forced it through. It was a horrible mistake. He did not play well. There are some things he did okay, but he did not play well. That is why I'm saying the midfield may have an issue, especially when we're playing teams like Arsenal, when we see City in about a month, Chelsea after that. So it does concern. Bruno, he did okay. Again, like I mentioned with the goal, he was kind of the catalyst that led to the corner that gave us the goal, that had Arsenal scoring on us. So, as much as you can all say, oh, the goalkeeper was crap, let's look at factors that led up to that. There, again, poor mistake led to a corner, and they got the corner. Arsenal thrived on set pieces last year. We saw how many goals from them last year, and how many times did we give up goals like this? But in the end, yes, Bayender should have punched it. It looks like a slap. You can say that there could have been a slight interference for him trying to make a save. In the end, a goal is a goal. I am probably not going to give as much hate on Bayender than most people will be, but I am going to look at other factors that, hey, we made a mistake defensively. It cost us to get this, and they took advantage of it and scored. It's the truth. It's the truth of what happened. So, yeah. But as the game went on, we saw good things. And Mbeumo, great going down the right. You saw the strength. Bayender did some great passes today. Some of them were key passes, and they helped with the transition. Patrick Dorgu has carried on from the preseason, and you saw how well he played today. You saw how well Matheus Cunha played today. They were all Ndolo played okay. Defensively, he was fine, but offensively, there's some stuff there, but we need something more with an attack on that right side. And again, at the end of the day, Amram made his decision with starting him, but obviously with things weren't going well in the second half, he made the right change and brought on Ahmad. Ahmad played well. I think the relationship with Mbeumo, him, Yoro on that right side will be better as the season goes on. Obviously, Luke Shaw was taken off and Harry Maguire was brought on, so you had the back three of De Ligt, Yoro, and Maguire. Yoro moved to the left side. You had De Ligt on the right, going up with Ahmad and Mbeumo. Unfortunately, De Ligt should have moved over there because, again, the chemistry with Yoro, Ahmad, and Mbeumo, like just the flow of those three together can help with the attack on the right side. You kind of saw that lackluster a little bit when he moved to the left. Still, again, we had opportunities, but yeah. Listen, hands down to Arsenal's D. The back four was incredible. They did it. They did everything correctly to stop us from scoring. They did everything right from us. We had opportunities. We had our shots. And yes, the stats say we were the better team. They did. And listen, the team that won. Arsenal did what they were always good at doing, and what they achieved at succeeded. We made a mistake. They took capital. Like the errors there built up, and we got the loss. But we had opportunities to get there. Now, from what we saw today, can we do that next week against Fulham? Can we do that against Burnley the week after? Can we do that against Grimsby Town, Man City when you get back from the break, Chelsea the week after? Can we see that going forward? And that's it. Like the attack will come. The growth of Sesko will come. Seeing Xerxes on the pitch will come. Like losing Højlund, and again, I can cry 1,000 wolves and say Højlund should stay. It's the truth. Like I want him to stay. Some other people do want him to stay because depth is important. Like we're injury away. Like having Mount and Shaw was great today. Durability is the one thing that we're going to need. So, like it's yeah, like that's all I can say there. Yeah, when I'm talking about it, but we have a tough battle coming up to it as the season progresses. If we can maintain what we're having here, perfect. The one thing that we lacked with, and yes, we had personnel last season different from this year. The one thing is consistency we did not have last year. When we showed up to those primetime games, Amram even mentioned it, Bruno even mentioned it, we would show up for the big ones, and then, like, for example, Fulham, somehow this team forgot how to play the sport. They couldn't maintain. Yeah, like it's the truth. And like, as much as it's Arsenal versus United, like we know if you're a fan, you understand, yes. But we can't be doing this we have to be doing this next week against Fulham. We have to do it against Burnley the week after. We have to do it against Grimsby Town. We have to do it against City. Like we have teams that we have to face and show consistency of what we do week in and week out. We have the personnel in the locker room, which is great. So we have to see that. Listen, we're going to face some battles as players are getting more familiar with each other, but we have to start seeing a better attack. Like the attack was fine, like with Mount, Cunha, and Mbeumo. Don't get me wrong, question marks were in my head. But at the end of the day, I was still fine with it because we know it may not have worked well during the preseason, but it looked pretty good when we're playing this type of team. So we put the pressure on. We saw the pressing. Mount looked good. Mount made some good defensive moves too when tracking back. He stopped Seska from trying to get inside. Like not Saka, sorry. But listen, Arsenal have a great squad. They have more depth and more are built better than us. It's going to be a different match when we go to the Emirates later on this year. But we know that going into this game, there was already a lot of hype for it. Pressure on Amorim. There's also pressure on Arteta. Gyökeres versus Amorim. Obviously, manager versus former player. Listen, we did a good job stopping Gyökeres today. He played about, I think, 65 minutes. But he didn't have any shots. Obviously, there was passes to him, but obviously he couldn't get work. Again, at the end of the day, please remember it's the first match of the year for everyone in the league. So he's just shaking off whatever rust he has. And Sesko is going to do the same for us when he starts going too. So I know FotMob had Sesko just rated just a little bit higher than him. Like from what I saw with him, Sesko definitely had attempts on the ball, the header, the movement. You saw some it's just going to start slowly developing. But in the end, I was upset that we lost, but I wasn't upset with the performance. It was well played by United. We saw good things. We did. We saw some good things today. The attack was fine. I did like Cunha. I did mention him going up. The pressing from Mason Mount was good. Again, we had shots on. When you excuse me a second. My apologies. Sorry for that. Just choking up a little bit in the back of my throat, but did not use the mute button. My apologies. But the attack seemed fine. We had those opportunities. The ball was moving, and we were good. So Matheus Cunha and Mbeumo showed up for what they were, what we knew they were going to be. Obviously, we didn't get any goals, but the performance of the team and the performance of them definitely showed what the potential is for this season with this squad. Amorim does have some time. Amorim was going to need time to tinker with what he would like to see, but knowing him, he's going to look at every game differently, and the lineup will be different too. The one thing I know we're hoping for is Luke Shaw to continue being healthy. Also, Mason Mount continue to be healthy. Xerxes has to be our players need to be healthy. But yeah, like I said, it worked today. Obviously, when we saw them starting doing it against Everton and Fiorentina, it didn't really work out well. But today it did work. It did. We saw it there. Mount did his job. Cunha did his. Having Mbeumo and Cunha there have already changed the movement and the play that we lacked from last year. It's the truth. Last year, we tried to stretch the ball with Garnacho's speed and hope for it. Højlund did not do what Cunha did today, not once last season. Mbeumo, just the movement, the control, we did not have that last year. The passing, the movement, knowing where players are going to be, that's going to come too. So I enjoyed that. There was a lot of things we saw today we never had last year. Yes, we didn't get a goal, but man, the opportunities were there, and we had our chances. We did. Raya was good. That back four for Arsenal was good, but we had our chances. So again, what we saw today definitely was all missing last year. And yeah, and those players that we saw last year that couldn't do what we were seeing today, they're going. It's true. But listen, one thing too is Bruno played okay, and I mentioned with his mistake, Bruno played okay. He made key passes, moving up the ball, made some defensive movements there, putting some pressure on. Risky with some of his slides, but overall I was okay with his performance. But yeah, Mount, Cunha, and Mbeumo, I was happy with all three of them today. Dorgu, impressive. The substitutes that came on, Sesko, like it was a small sample size. Obviously, no preseason, obviously because he just joined last weekend. So limited there, but the header, the height is good. The header was there. The hold up because he had a nice pass go off. So we saw a small sample size that was promising from what we saw. Still, again, time. We need the time. But again, hopefully to see that next week, him potentially fully starting. We'll see how the week goes. We're back next Sunday at 11:30. Same bad time, same bad channel. But it's or sorry, same Manchester United time, same Manchester United channel, or to say the least. But I'm good with today's game. I'm not good with the loss, but I'm good with what I saw. That's how I would rate it, though. All right, let's get into player ratings. This is my first time because I never did it last season. Obviously, just steering out. It's a new year. It's a new season. Let's might as well just jump on the train and join everyone else for the ratings. The starting back three. I'll start with the back three. You know what? I'll start with Bayender. Bayender, out of 10, I'm going to give him a 5.5. The goal, yes. The defending of the corner, yeah. But his passing, his movements out of the ball, he did make some good passes that led to some good development in the attack. But again, like other than that corner, he played fine. But 5.5 for me. I know a lot of people were not happy with his lovely performance. Let me just check the app just to see what he was given as a rating. 6. Yeah, I could say a 6. Yeah, 5.5, 6 again. Yeah, he didn't have a bad game. It was just the goal that he did. And you know what? No, I'm going to change my rating. I'm going to go. Yeah, you know what? I'll stay. I like that. I will stay with the 6. Yeah, I'll stay with the 6 because again, other than that, he had a good game. Just the corner and then everything else was fine. So it was 6. I could say 5.9. You know what? 5.9. I'll be below what everyone else. I'll be low. I know I'm higher than what a lot of people have given, but 5.9 to me. The passing, the movement of the ball today, he did fine. Reading when the pressure came and everything as well. So 5.9. I'm going to change it from 5.5 to 5.9. Lenny Yoro, I'm going to go 7.3. De Ligt, 7.5. Actually, no. 7.7. Luke Shaw, 7.3, I'll say. Same as Euro. I would say, yeah. Actually, I may go even higher. I'm going to go 7.4. No, it's 7.5 for Euro. 7.5. Bruno put him in a bad spot when that corner came out. Like, I'm not going to go on Euro. But, yeah, like, all of them were above a 7 in the back three. Dorgu, 7.5. He was great defensively, and he was great with moving the ball up. Dalot, I'm going to say 6.2. Just an average. Like, yeah, like he didn't like it was. He played well, just the offensive and movement and 6.2 for me. Casemiro, I'm going to give a 6.8. His passing was good. Obviously his age, but he made some good. He played well defensively. He made some stops. Obviously, there's still issues in that midfield, but to me, 6.8 for Casemiro, because I saw some of those passes that he made. What did the mob? 6.9. 6.8 for me. Bruno, they gave him a 7.5. I'll give him the same. I'm going to say 6.5 for Bruno. Yeah, I'm going to say 6.5 for Bruno. Mason Mount, I'm going to give him a 7.5. Cunha, I'll give him an 8. And Mbeumo, 7.8. Actually, no, Mason Mount. Yeah, I'll say that. I'll say a 7.8. I'll say that attack was 7.5 above and better. Mason Mount's pressing. Let's see what they gave. 6.5. They gave low numbers on the attack. Really. Cunha was an 8. So I know some people gave Cunha an 8, but to me, I think that attack was good. They didn't get any goals, or they would have been higher, but those three definitely gave opportunities to help the squad. And Cunha and Mbeumo were definitely they all played a great game, but I think so. You know what? I'm changing Bruno. I'm going down to a 6 for Bruno. Hate me what you want, but I'm going to change that down. Don't get me wrong, he had good passes and everything, but there were times where there were sometimes he had issues, and there were sometimes he could have got a card and he could have eventually led to a red. But Ahmad, when he came on, I'll say a 6.5. Sesko, give him a 6. He was, who else came on? Maguire. 6.5. Same as Ahmad. Ugarte, I'll say a 5. Ugarte was probably the worst. Was that it for that? Yeah, I'll say that. I think, that's what I'll say. I'm okay with that. Ugarte, you can even say below average, but there's 2 times there on the kick and the pass back where he did some other good stuff, but Ugarte wasn't spectacular. How do I want to feel back? You know what? 6.3 for Bruno. I know I'm going back on my ratings. 6.3. I know some people have given out 7.5s, but 6.3. Passing and everything, but you know what? The one thing that sucked with the attack is when Cunha and Mbeumo were going on the move, Nobody else was with him too. Like, obviously I know Casemiro's legs, but Bruno, you didn't see him there. Dorgu, you saw him speeding up. You saw Mason Mount trying to catch up, and Buemo was just a few steps behind, but like there was nobody with him a couple times when he did those moves. So, but yeah. Yeah, that's it for the episode. I'm going to be back Tuesday with a new episode, catching up on everything from the weekend. Let me know what you think. Am I going to do a player of the match? No. Like the best player was Matheus Cunha, in my opinion. Just the attack that we've been missing and everything. That's what we've been dragging on. And God, did he give us opportunities, and Buemo too. Like, to be fair, when you look at it here, and Buemo, De Ligt, Cunha were our three best. Like they were our three best, and they did a good job. They had opportunities again. They scored. Arsenal scored on something that they've always been good at. So, yeah, I would say the best player. So technically, yeah, if I were to do a man of the match, whatever, yeah, it would be Matheus Cunha. Like he was incredible. And Buemo's only going to get better. Mason Mount will get better. Cunha will even get better than what we saw today. Ahmad just needs to start getting himself familiar with. But yeah, that's what I'm going to say. Let me know what you think of your rankings. Don't forget to hit a like, subscribe, follow, leave a comment, feedback. Let me know what you think. But that's yeah. Yeah, that's my first rating. That's my first time ever doing it. Am I happy with it? I don't know. It's my first one. I'm okay. I'm meh. I'm okay with it, to say the least. But in the end, this game, there was a lot of positives. Let's remember that. There's a lot of positives to see what the squad can do. And the question is, can this squad use the big C word, consistency, next week against Fulham? That is the main point. Like what we did today, can they do that next week, the week after, and again and again and again? There's going to be a day where we have a game where we just couldn't get anything right. Today, you know what? Yeah, today like was a loss. I'm not happy with the loss, but I am happy with what I saw. That's basically how I look at it here. I'm not, like Cunha showed why we signed him, and Buemo showed why we signed him, and Mason Mount shows why Ten Hag wanted to go for him. We see why Amorim likes Mason Mount. So, listen, we can talk about other players in the future, but yes, the midfield still has question marks. I know Kobbie Mainoo didn't get any time today. Xerxes didn't see any time. Fredrickson didn't get in. No Aiden Heaven. So we'll see. And I don't think Amorim has shown all of his cards yet for what the squad can be. So, but today, the way he did his lineup, I wasn't upset with it. I was perfectly fine with it. I wasn't shocked by it either. But yeah, like, listen, I'm not going to be upset that Amorim didn't choose my lineup. Why would I be upset with that? Like, he knows more about this game, knows more about those players than I do, and he sees more of those players than I do. Like, I can watch as many games as I can, but the coach sees something more than what we do with fan channels. It's the truth. So, listen, he and Amorim overall, yeah, you know what? I didn't even rate Amorim. Amorim, honestly, 7 today. He gave forth a good line. He gave forth like everything. Like the set pieces again still need work. Obviously he's limited by the staff. He doesn't have he didn't have his starting goalie today. Obviously he managed players rightly. So it's like it's there. It's it's we have to we have to be patient with this, and we're going to be patient with him. I believe he's doing the right thing. We saw what he did this offseason. We saw what he's trying to change in the culture. Like, he's doing things to try and make this squad and this club better, and it's going to take time. So, yeah, Ruben Amorim was 7 for today. Yeah, like, he was right with the lineup. He was right with what he had to do today. You know, it's going to take time. So, but yeah, again, it was, to me, I liked it. It was better. United did look great. Yes, stats say one thing. Again, we did lose, and you know what? It's a development that's going to be successful down the road, and it's going to take time. Ladies and gentlemen, just be patient. It's going to take time. But yeah, I'll be back Tuesday. Catch up on what we might be doing in the transfer window, who our targets are going to be, if there's fallout. Yeah, but overall, I was happy with it. But yeah, back Tuesday with a new episode. And then yeah, Fulham next week. So you'll see me a couple times again with my previews. So Tuesday, you'll probably see me Thursday, Friday again, like last week. Unless something breaking happens and I release an episode earlier. So keep an eye out. But yeah, I'll be back Tuesday to discuss all Manchester United. And again, don't forget, follow on Instagram, TikTok, X, as well as subscribe on YouTube, Apple Podcast, and Spotify. Don't forget, please leave hit a like. Please leave feedback. But let me know what you thought. Maybe one day I'll do a live show. Maybe. We'll see. But yeah, maybe. We'll see what my future holds. But yeah, enjoy the episode. I'll see you guys Tuesday. This is the Red Devils Corner Kick podcast. Glory, glory, Man United.